Bring it on in. Daily Ticket with you here on a Football Friday. A lot to get to this afternoon. Yes. Of course, we got some big games in the college football world kicking off tomorrow. Number one for us, Penn State, Oregon, 7:30 p.m. Oh, by the way, Villanova, William & Mary will be live out there at 1 o'clock. Big family weekend. Looking forward to getting out there and seeing a bunch of people I haven't seen in a little bit. Of course, though, at the top of the list, ladies and gentlemen, the Ryder Cup. And what the heck happened this morning? Unbelievable. Well, here's the deal. We are very lucky because we are going to head up the Bethpage right here, right now, to start the show. A gentleman by the name of Ryan Ogle is going to join us. He is the championship director, and he has himself a heck of a tournament coming up here. Ryan, fast and furious, my friend. I forgot we bumped that bad boy up to May. You are coming up extremely fast here, man. First of all, thank you for joining me. Can't thank you enough. Live from Bethpage. We're going to talk a ton about what you guys got going on at Aronimink, but thank you for a couple minutes. How you doing today, Ryan?
Thanks for having me, Sean. I'm doing great. Not the start we wanted here at Bethpage, but things are great. And it reminds me that, my event's going to be here quickly, and we're learning a lot, but having a lot of fun in the meantime.
Yeah, so much to discuss with you. It's like, all right, yeah, that's right. We changed, how it plays out as far as when the PGA takes place year after year. I'm still stuck in my brain that it's the fourth and final major of the year. Not so fast, not the way it is anymore. Ryan, I want to ask you this, and you guys have had a couple things happening at Aronimink this past week. I saw Gary Player out there, but I do want to ask you, one of the things that stood out to me the most this year at the Ryder Cup was the introduction on Wednesday, the lead up on Thursday. It felt like, from a guy that's, on my couch, that, man, we had 48 hours of like a pregame show, but that's fine. It's to feel that way. But then when you see the crowds and the people that are so enthused behind it and showing up and almost want more of it, does that open you up to do some different things for Aronimink coming up here in 2026 with the PGA Championship?
Absolutely. The Ryder Cup is kind of an interesting one in the fact that there's only 3 days of competition, but it's 6 days of the gates being open to our fans. And as the week progresses, we get more and more spectators. What's really interesting is, due to weather, we moved the opening ceremonies, which were supposed to take place on Thursday, moved those up to Wednesday. And it actually added a new element, because you had an opening ceremonies on Wednesday that was exciting to watch for people that are here, but also across the country and, quite frankly, across the world. And then Thursday, they did the captain's pick. So there was like 2 days of something to tune in and watch, which is not always the case. I think we learned something there, and maybe there's some changes that we can move forward for Ryder Cups. But from a Aronimink perspective, we just think about, how do we take the same excitement that builds into the Ryder Cup and make that over the 7 days at a PGA Championship. We're open Monday through Sunday, and the first 3 rounds are practice rounds. How do you continue to create the excitement for the fans that want to come out and see these guys practice in a more laid-back environment? That's one of the best things about attending a practice rounds. The guys are more laid back. They're doing autographs. There's a little bit less people on the ground, so it's easier to traverse. And how do you continue to add that fan excitement and that fan experience? And I think we've gone a long way. We're one of the best in the golf business and maybe the sports business in our guest experience, because of our all-new food inclusive program that allows everyone that comes on the gates, free food and drink are part of your ticket or part of your access. And we're trying to continue to find new things to do like that. But, there's nothing better than the Ryder Cup and the excitement. And I'm just glad we're finally here to the competition on Friday.
We got Ryan Ogle joining us here as the championship director. It's his third time around. Very cool to have you to join us right from the start of the show. Of course, Ryder Cup on everybody's mind right now. And I was able to watch a lot more in the morning. I've been getting ready for the show here. So kind of put it off into the side. I see we're doing a little bit better here in the afternoon. We'll talk about that in just a second. But more as far as Aronimink with 2026, I saw you guys just had Gary Player out there. Well, you're talking about a legend. He's teaching my guy John Clark how to putt. How do I get around with Gary Player at Aronimink? Come on, Ryan.
Yeah, John's doing something right. The membership at Aronimink Golf Club and the president wanted to honor him and dedicate a room to Gary as their PGA champion from 1962, the last time our event was hosted in the Philadelphia area. And they said they did a room dedication, which was a great touch. And then he was so kind to give so much of his time both to the members of the media, and to have someone like Gary back and talking about a PGA championship returning to Aronimink, to Newtown Square, and to the greater Philadelphia region. It was a special moment. We're so thankful for him making that time. And hopefully, we continue to have those exciting moments as we welcome back major golf to Philadelphia.
Oh, so cool, man. Yeah, Gary is an absolute legend. And to see him go out there, and we all know he's up there in age, but you would never tell. And like I said, some of the videos I saw online were just tremendous. So great write-up on the Inquirer, too. Inquirer.com. Check out that write-up on all things Gary Player up at Aronimink. All right, Ryan, let's go. One more 2026. That's right. I do have this thought because, of course, Ryder Cup USA versus Europe. And then we got a special year with 2026. I think we all understand what's at stake as far as what's happening next year, 250-year celebration for America. Is anything like that crossing your mind when you see just the patriotism up there for the Ryder Cup and the rah-rah USA? Is that going to be a little bit of a vibe for next year for Aronimink in 2026?
I certainly hope so. We are trying to lean in as much as we can to not only the Philadelphia vibe, the Philadelphia scene, the Philadelphia culture, but how do we also lean into the 250th anniversary of our country and the pride that a lot of people, not only just in Philadelphia, but much broader, but I think in Philly, especially being the birthplace, what a great opportunity. So we're trying to find or new ways to bring in the patriotism. And I think the Ryder Cup does have a few elements that you can copy, that you can mimic in there. But at the end of the day, what makes the Ryder Cup, and what makes the PGA Championship the PGA Championship are the fans, are the spectators, and what excitement they bring. And I have so much faith that the Philadelphia fans, the Phillies, they're going to bring it. It's going to be raucous. It's going to be fun. And we're going to lean into it as much as we can. I can't wait, especially being here this week and knowing, hey, we're next up. We got another show to put on soon.
I'll tell you what, Ryan, I tweeted earlier this morning, we should have had the Ryder Cup at the Cricket Club because I think we needed a little bit of the fans to get after our players this morning, and it would have happened in Philly. We'd have let them hear it just a little bit more. I kid with that. But, look, as far as what took place this morning, Europe's good. I know we were favored. It's really difficult to win in opposing territory, and that's well documented. But I wasn't buying what the odds makers were saying just because of the players that were out there. And you saw it this morning, and they got it going with Jon Rahm, and they never looked back. I wasn't surprised to see them come out on top. I do expect USA to respond. It looks like they are right now. What was your takeaway this morning, though, and were you surprised at how well Europe did?
Well, I think anyone that is very knowledgeable in golf, and I love the Ryder Cup. I started as an intern at the Ryder Cup in 2012 with the PGA, and as someone that watches it closely, I knew the Europe wasn't going to be a team that you don't take serious. You have to. 11 of the 12 players played in Rome in 2023. The 12th player, Rasmus Højgaard, he was with the team all week because his brother Nikolai was playing. He was driving the cart around. He was in the team room. He knew what to expect. All 12 of their players came into here in a hostile crowd with experience, with knowing the fan expectations, the loudness, the nerves. And they showed that because they didn't rattle them this morning. Wasn't surprised by that. I was surprised by the outcome. Yeah. I thought, leading off with Bryson and Justin was such a strong move by Keegan. They start off, they win the first hole, and you think, yes, this is going to be exactly what we need. And then they end up, letting it go. And John and Terrell were unstoppable. The real key matches, in my opinion, were match 2 and match 3. Match 2 being Scotty. We really needed to win that with our best player. And then match 3 being Rory, and European really needed to win that with their best player. Unfortunately, we didn't get either one. So that, I think, was the big factor. Scotty not coming around. He had some issues in Rome. You wondered how he was going to respond. But I have a lot of faith. These guys are resilient. Yep. There's a lot of great leadership in the locker room right now. I think Keegan Bradley's doing a great job. I think these boys will rebound. Let's see. The afternoon looks better, but it's still close. If we split this, that's better than losing again 3-1, but we really need to get a 3-1 here, if not a 4-0.
No, you're totally right. A lot of golf to be played. So, and I believe Rome, did USA open up 3-1 in that Ryder Cup?
We've actually had a really good record the last few Ryder Cups, the morning foursomes, the Friday morning session. We've done really well the last few Ryder Cups, and we did so in Rome. But that should give us some faith that what we're seeing right now, it isn't the end of the world. We have plenty of golf left. Let's see these guys bounce back, and you never know. It could get exciting. I think what I'm hoping for, I want a USA win, of course, but I'm also hoping for a close match. The last couple of Ryder Cups have been kind of blowouts by the home team. I want to see some drama. I want to see some excitement. we'll see. We definitely need it to get closer and see what Saturday brings, but let's finish this afternoon.
All right, one more as far as what's taking place at Bethpage. Scotty Scheffler, of course, you brought him up there. Big story. I mean, just everybody knows, unless you live underneath the rock, how great Scotty has been and what type of player he is when he's on, in the conversation of Tiger and Jack level and what he's been able to do these past few years. But struggling, and he's down 2 right now. I'm curious your take, because the big talking point right now in the timeline is that his playing partners don't know what it takes to play with somebody of his caliber. Do you think there's something there with that? Henley did struggle. JJ Spawn is pretty darn good too. He had a great season this year, but they're down 2. And again, I haven't been able to watch this match all that closely, but to play with the world's number 1, what type of impact does that have on your partner?
Yeah, I think matching a number 1 can be difficult. And Scotty is being matched or considered or discussed with Jack and with Tiger, and he's got a long way to go to get there, but he's on the right track. Mm-hmm. And Tiger had a tough time in Ryder Cups. Pairing him was difficult, and players playing with him was difficult. A lot of that with Tiger was the crowds and the way crowds reacted around Tiger. And when he was done playing, they would start moving. That's very distracting. I think you get a similar thing with Scotty. I think, the pressure of playing with Scotty. And I also just wonder, is Scotty putting some pressure on himself? I think he's the most resilient player on the tour. I think one of the reasons he's so good is his mental toughness. I have a lot of faith that he'll bounce back. But, maybe pairing with him is something that we continue to watch and see if they do consistent pairings, or if we see changes like we saw this morning going from Henley to Spawn.
A lot of golf to be played. Can't wait to sink into my couch all day tomorrow, and of course on Sunday as well. And hopefully Team USA will be hoisting the cup up there at Bethpage Black. Once again, joined by Ryan Ogle. He is the championship director of the PGA Championship, taking place at Aronimink May 14th through the 17th. I still can't believe it. I'm like, wow, that is right here. Ryan, can't thank you enough for stopping by. Of course, giving us some insight of what's taking place up at Bethpage. I wasn't sure if you wanted to talk about the Cowboys, Oklahoma State. I didn't know if you wanted to get into that matchup against Baylor. Gundy out, maybe a bounce back spot this weekend. Your thoughts?
I mean, I sure hope so. We need some momentum. It's been a tough time. I'm a big Gundy fan, big Cowboys fan. Right now, maybe we're starting to rebuild. No one wants to accept that, but we'll see. I continue to have faith, and I continue to root for my folks.
Awesome, Ryan. Well, thank you very much for stopping by. Definitely touch base before Aronimink up here at May the 14th, 17th. And if you need someone to sing the national anthem, Star Spangled Banner, I'll paint my chest. I'll do it. I'll go full Patriot mode for you in May, my friend. But thank you for stopping by, Ryan. Enjoy the rest of the weekend up there.
Thanks, Sean. Cheers.
You're the best. There he is. Once again, Ryan Ogle joining us on the Gambler Hotline. I don't think he took me up on my bid there. I didn't sing the national anthem. I mean, come on. 250 years happening up the road here around him. Gorgeous golf course. And my guy, John Clark. Who plays golf more than John Clark these days? Every single time I'm on Instagram, Clarky's on a green. How do I get that gig? With that swing. I kid.